Hey guys, welcome to Pretty Blonde Banter. Today we're going to be touching back into my sex life because I had someone reach out to me and ask me a little bit of a personal question, but I think it's something that people should talk about. So, you know the drill. Grab yourself a drink, grab a snack, and come get naughty with me. So, if you missed one of my previous podcasts, I talked about my sex life and how being assaulted multiple times, how it has affected me in my adult life and in my sex life. But I haven't really gone super in depth, and someone asked me how it affects me now, like when I am in a relationship with somebody new. What do I think about when it comes to sex? Where is my head when it comes to an intimate relationship with a man? And that's actually a really good question. It's something that I wish I would have had resources when I was, you know, after being assaulted and getting back out there and starting to date. I wish I could have had somebody to just relay advice. So that's why I'm talking about this stuff. So right now, I am 38 years old and I still get very, very nervous when it comes to any form of intimacy. That goes even with hugging and kissing and cuddling. I get very envious, especially, we'll say 10 years ago when my friends were still single and just dating or whatever. I would always see them, being able to just make out with a guy or, cuddle. We were like hang out, whatever. They'd be all cuddled up with their boyfriends and stuff. And that was always a feeling of anxiety for me. I always kind of pushed it away. And I dated men, I've dated quite a few men in my life. And as soon as it would get close to being intimate or they would try to make a move, I was done. Like, I checked out. See you later. Bye. On to the next. Looking back, I wish I would have dealt with it differently. I wish I would have been more vocal about my feelings, about my fears. But I was very embarrassed. I was also very cold. I didn't want them to know that I had these problems, so I just I'd become a robot and just, shut myself off, and there we go. Thankfully, now that I'm older, I'm much more comfortable in just being honest with men. And, if they don't like what I have to say or it makes them uncomfortable, then they're not for me. But I am very much more open about my life now to potential men in my life. And I still struggle. I haven't dated in quite a while now. I haven't dated since 2019. And back then, I still struggled greatly with being intimate, with hugging, kissing, cuddling, sex. I was terrified. Nowadays, I still struggle when I'm still with somebody in those early stages. I still get very shy and I want to hide away, and I get scared very easy. Like when a guy is starting to get sexual with me, especially when it becomes more like physical touch and things. There are moments where I cry or I just want to cower down and hide. And, they think that they're doing something wrong and they're not. It's just how my body reacts to things now. I struggle and it takes me a while. And I've never talked to any of the men in my past about this, but I'm sure it's a struggle for them too because, they just what I'm assuming, is they just want to love on me, and I'm very timid. It's also different too because, at my age, people are much more experienced with sexual things, and I am not. I have a lot of things in my life that I have not experienced or have not done, and it is a bit awkward at this age because, again, it's, I'm almost 40, and yeah, it makes it hard and awkward. So, I also struggle once I get to the point where I have sex. I struggle afterwards, like immediately afterwards. I don't even know, how do I describe this? I feel very, I don't even know. I don't know the word for it. I feel very alone. I feel very regretful. Um, it's just and this has a lot to do with like some of the partners too, I know. But I don't feel afterwards like that was amazing. I want to do that again. I don't feel bonded to them. I don't feel like love. I don't feel anything positive after sex. It's always something scary, or I don't know, like it's not the greatest thing for me. And I know that it's sad. And I know, like I said, I know it has a lot to do with my partners, but it also has a lot to do with me because I shut down and I don't let myself just relax and trust, which is huge with sex. So that's what I'm working on. That's my current situation. I'm trying to get myself to the point where I'm more comfortable and just in a better spot when I'm with a partner. And that's why I'm working on being more open about things about myself. Because in the past, I would never talk about these things. And so I think that's why that fear just stayed there. And that's why my sex life has been not the greatest. Because I have just been very closed off, and now I am being more open and talking about things, and so it does help things, It makes it easier to kind of open up that door and let that person just see me and see, like what I'm dealing with, why I'm dealing with it, and just go from there. I have not had sex with anybody since I was with my ex-husband, and I get kind of nervous now because, I was always intimate with a man that was my husband, or, soon after became my husband. And now at this age, that's not really a thing. And you kind of, you have sex with your boyfriend, that you've been going on dates with a couple times. And that gives me such anxiety. Like, you wouldn't believe. Oh my God. Like, this is where it kind of goes back to, like, I feel like I'm a teenager in some ways because, I'm just, I think you guys get what I'm trying to say. It's different, but I'm working on it. I think the biggest thing that I want to let people know who are in similar situations that I have been in. I just want them to know that it's okay. It's okay to feel this way. You know, it's okay to be almost 40 and still feel very virginal in many ways. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be intimidated. It's okay to be shy. It's okay. And then it's also okay to not. It's okay to be out there living your life and experiencing things. And that's kind of what I'm doing, you know, with this whole new life that I have here that I've started. I look forward to having a partner that I can just be wild and just be intimate with and not have any of those fears or those after feelings. You know, I want to have sex with a man, and when we're finished, I want to feel like that was amazing and I want to do it again. I want to feel, you know, like all giddy and smiles and happy, and I just that's what I want. That's my goal. So we'll see how this unfolds, how this goes. Uh I tell you, it is definitely very weird talking about my sex life so openly, but again, I do it because I know that there's many other people who are in my situation who feel and have felt similar things that I feel and I've felt. And I think it's good to be open and talk about these things just to make you feel not so alone. All right, we're gonna wrap this one up here. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And as always, I will catch you in my next one. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.